Hello everybody and welcome to this video. This video is going to be for people who are first-time home buyers who are looking at what are some of the costs to actually purchasing a apartment. We're going to be talking about apartments and condos in this segment. So this is something within the realms of around $500,000 to up to $600,000. I am going to do an example using that $500,000 threshold, and this is especially for people who are first-time home buyers. I myself is a realtor with Keller Williams Elite Realty, so these are some of the costs I see myself. And this is going to be generally for Vancouver, Metro Vancouver, Fraser Valley, so it's going to vary in this segment. So I'm going to try to do my best of what are some of the costs, actually getting a mortgage, utilities. I'm trying to go in depth as possible so you guys have an idea of when you do purchase a condo, what to expect for costs. So let's just dive right into this. We're going to go, for example, talk about a condo, like I said, at $500,000. So $500,000 will make up that it's in Coquitlam. We're buying a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, around 600 square feet. So we decided to fall in love with it. It's a great condo. We got an accepted offer at $500,000. We're looking good. So let's see what some of those costs are. So starting off, what we are looking at is a $500,000 condo. We are going to be first-time home buyers. So normally the threshold is about a 20% down payment. I know that it can vary, but normally 20% down payment. However, for first-time home buyers, the government does try to give us some incentives. So you can actually purchase a property with the lower down payment, sometimes between 10 and as little as 5%. And there's even programs that even match a 5% down payment, and the government puts in 5%. But however, let's for this sample just say we have a nice 10% down payment. 10% of $500,000 is a $50,000 deposit. So we are going to be investing our $50,000, and it looks like we're going to have about a $450,000 mortgage. Now, that's great. We have that $450,000 mortgage, but there are some more costs. So because we are going within less than 20% down, we are going to have mortgage insurance. Mortgage insurance is just insurance that you pay it back and everything. So there is a cost to that. And for about a $500,000 condo, we're going to be looking at about $13,950 in mortgage insurance. I have it on my laptop here, so I don't get that wrong. So that $450,000, we're going to add $13,590 to it. So that's about, I think, $463,950 mortgage now. So that's one of the costs. We're also going to be not adding something, which is great, but normally when you do purchase a condo or any property, you have to pay as property transfer tax, PTT, property transfer tax. And that is actually 1% on the first 200,000, 2% on the from 200,000 to 2 million, and then 3% on the remaining above 2 million. I know that's complicated, but basically, if we're going to buy a condo at 500,000, we're going to have to pay about $8,000 in property transfer tax. However, again, the government does give incentives. We are first-time home buyers, so that $8,000 is actually not going to be added on. It's going to be considered a rebate, so we will get that $8,000 back. So that's a great part of being part of that first-time home buyer program. So we don't have to add the $8,000, so we're looking at about a $463,950 mortgage. Hopefully I said that right. When do we pay that back? Is it right 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a year from now? Obviously not. So we can actually choose to see how long we want to spread that out. So you could choose as little as 5 years you have to pay that back, 10 years, 15, 20, 25 onwards. Now I think the longest right now possibly is 30, but I think for the first time home buyers it's going to be around 25%, 25 years. So we're going to take that mortgage and we're going to amortize it over 25 years, meaning we pay a little bit with interest over time. So let's just say we pick over 25 years. And right now in August 2022, the interest rates have been climbing. We are going to use a 4.6 interest rate fixed meaning for 5 years we're locked in paying 4% interest for that mortgage. This can definitely vary and make these prices different than what I'm saying now, whether it's lower 3 or 2 or higher at 5, 6, 7. But right now it's around 4.6 as of August 2022, within that range. So we actually get a total with that interest at 25 years of around $2,594, but let's round up. So $2,600 a month is what we're going to be paying for that mortgage. So when we look at it like that, we're thinking, okay, well, how much do I make a month? Yada yada. So that's about a $2,600 we have to put down for the mortgage. So we have to have that on. Now, is there any other fees or any other monthly expenses we have? So we know that other than things like groceries, gas, let's talk about some expenses directly related to your condo that you're purchasing. So one other thing is we can't avoid this tax, unfortunately, but it is property tax. So each year you are given an assessment and you're paying a property taxes back to the government. For detached bigger homes, those things can be up to $8,000, $9,000, $7,000 you have to pay back, maybe even $5,500, but anyways, a lot more. But for a condo, I just gonna round it out at say $3,000 they hit us with for property tax. It could be a lot less, but I just want to use 3,000. So if we do have to pay that once a year, but just for example, we're gonna spread it out like we're budgeting each month for it. We'd have to save about $250 for that a month. And then the next set of fees we're going to be paying is utilities. These things like electricity, gas, heat, hot water, internet. Those are our utilities that we use throughout our house. So I went online and I saw a consensus that for the average house, it was around, it was like 400 and something. But I went in more depth with some of the utilities, things that I've seen and used personally. So electricity, you're looking at about $40 a month. Gas, around $30, $35 for water, $40 for heating. Internet bill could be anywhere but about $50, $55 a month. So I just rounded those out. For utilities for a condo, we're going to look at about $200 a month. Now, that could be different if you're buying a bigger condo, especially for heating. Like that bill is going to be a lot higher if you have the heat on during different seasons, like the winter season, you're going to have the heat on. Whether in the summer, you're probably going to not have that on. You're going to have your fans and AC cracking. Also, how many people are living in the house? If we have one person, in the condo, if we have one person in the condo, our water bill is probably going to be a lot less than say if you had 3 people, or 2 people, So those expenses vary. But I could be comfortable saying that if you're going to be moving in with yourself or your significant other or roommate, you're going to be looking at about $200 in utilities. So yeah, utilities, we got that handled. Now the other thing is strata fees or maintenance fees. So when you're part of a strata or building, you are going to be paying towards maintaining that building, whether that's gardening, garbage pickup, carpet cleaning, anything you see. It's going to be contributed towards called a maintenance fee or strata fee. And also some of that money goes to putting aside for a new roof in the future, or maintaining the boiler room, or parkades, or washing, or if there's any sudden expenses or things like that matter, all that money goes towards the building. So strata fees can vary widely. For older buildings, sometimes they're a little more expensive because older buildings tend to have more problems, so you can see up to $350, $400 plus, or even Vancouver, that's like the norm, $400. Here in Coquitlam, we, for especially something like 2000 to 2010, we can see anywhere between 225 to 300 and something, depending on the building. If it's got a pool, of course, it's going to be a little more expensive maintenance fees because to maintain that. you know, if they got, say, fancy tennis court, squash court, you know what I'm saying, like bit more expensive things to take care of. The maintenance fees are going to be more expensive, but I just wanted to use a conservative $250. I would assume this place we're talking about doesn't have a pool, and it just requires the basic like things like that. So let's just say our strata fee is about $250. So if we take that again, I had the $250 for property property taxes, and we're gonna have about $200 utilities, and the strata fee is gonna be about $250. What is that? $700 just in some other monthly fees. So let's take our mortgage at, what was it, $2,600 plus $700 is $3,300 in total. So that's a better number to look at when purchasing a condo. That's not at 500. We're going to take our mortgage, we're going to take our property taxes, we're going to take our utilities and our maintenance fees, put it together, have a beautiful number. This number happens to be about $3,300. So if you are looking within that range of $500,000, realistically budgeting for yourself, you're looking at about between $3,300. That can change depending on building, down payment, interest rate. But for this example here, that's what we got, about $3,300. And yeah, I'm happy saying that's something that you guys should be looking for. Now I'll go through some other expenses that aren't hard to put a dollar value. I'll kind of tell you what I mean. So if you purchase your condo, you're normally buying a condo that's unfurnished. So we don't have a table, chairs, couch, everything, bed, sofa, everything like that. So furnishing the home, you know, I couldn't really put a number amount on it, whether you want to spend a lot of money or little money. Just be ready for that. Say you move into your condo and the fridge stops working, or the oven's not working, or the microwave gave out, or, you know, there's paint that's dried and chipped. So these are some, I would say, repairs that you might want to plan for, especially if you're buying in an older condo, or if you notice that some of the appliances and some things just needed some repairs. Have some money set aside for that. You don't want to be caught, you know, with all the money going in and you don't have any money to fix the oven or something like that. So that's something great right there. And number three, well, not number three, but another one I wrote down here is renovations. You move into the condo and you said before, like, hey, that backsplash on top of the kitchen, it's a little outdated. Or hey, the cabinets, you know, they're squeaking, they're not really looking that great. I want the ones that shut when you just push it and slide in easily. So renovations is another cost that you should kind of expect if you are wanting to update some things, unless you're moving into more of a newer condo. So put some money set aside for that. And then another one I wrote down here, if you are part of a strata, remember you're buying a subjective units inside the whole building. So that means that things happen in buildings. Of the worst, fires, of the least worst, general repairs, meaning like every 25 years or so, or less, you might want a new roof for the strata. So that might be coming. Something happens in the boiler room. Who knows? Like there's different things that could happen, and when that does happen, they normally call it a special levy if they need something fixed right away. Say the parkade leaks, that's a big one. You don't want water getting into the parking, or if the concrete's just worn out, you know, the driveway to get into something is done, anything like that. So what I'm saying is that just kind of be aware that if it is an older building or even a newer building, you want to have a little bit of money set aside or planned just in case something happens, not just to your actual condo, but to the whole building in general. So again, this is just educational purposes only. Lots of things can be very subjective here, but I tried to do my best here for you. But yeah, once again, if you have any questions on anything like this, of course, I am a realtor, so I can definitely help you in that way. Shoot me a text, leave a comment, anything like that. I can definitely try to help your personal situation and help you get into something that best fits your needs and also your budget as well. So, but yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope this definitely helps. And yeah, have a great one, guys. Thank you.